Okay.
I
So
had a question, but
yeah,
I
sure.
was wondering, I wanted to like put a background behind me, but I don't think I'm able to with this platform. Is that possible? Or?
Oh, I don't think it does because it's not like Zoom. Like this program
Yeah.
is really for it's really for podcasting and
Okay.
videos. Like it's very specific. It's more actually more focused on the audio part. The good news is that while you're talking about stuff, I'll probably be using a lot of the footage that I have
Okay.
anyways. That'll be going over it as B-roll footage.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. If
Okay.
I wanted like to show what it looks like at the Cap de Bon Désir Interpretation Center, but if you're taking your photos, I think it will be very better.
Well, what do you mean by that? Like you
But
were
I had a
gonna.
photo of the Cap de Bon Désir like as a background, so I wanted to put that because it would be
Oh,
more like official,
nice.
but it's
I see what you're
okay.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can see your Parks Canada little logo thing there in the
Yeah,
beaver.
that's okay. I have my uniform, so
So we know it's all
this is in the
official.
organization. Yeah.
How you been, by the way?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent. You're not still at the marine park, are you? Are you back in Saguenay?
Well, I'm always in Saguenay, but I travel during the summer when I
Right.
visit,
That's
and I
right. That's
also
right.
go to the office like all the year round. So, but
Right.
today
Right.
I'm
Right.
in Saguenay. Yeah, I'm not physically in the marine park, but I'm right in front of the beginning of the marine park, so the end in the Saguenay Fjord.
Gotcha. And just to be clear, how do you say your name
Eloise,
and your last name?
Lavoie.
Lavoie. Okay. Professional. Want to make sure that if I have to say it, I'm saying it right.
Okay.
Okay. So, so when we were before we came to you, we were uh, on the Zodiac riding around, and it was like craziness. Like the Zodiac is going fast, and there's all this excitement. And then if we see people gathering around somewhere, then that usually means that there's a whale there or something. So you see like a bunch of kayaks and a bunch of other Zodiacs parked up to kind of see if they get anything. But it was all exciting and craziness. But then when we came to where you were at Cap de Bon Desert, it was more calm and everyone was just kind of like chilling. It's almost like I want to say it's almost like a zombie kind of feel. We're just standing around, like mulling about and just all quiet, just waiting for something to happen. So just wanted to start with that. Like, how would you describe the vibe of watching whales from the shore compared to being out on a boat?
Well, I'd say it's like two different activities, but these two activities are complementary. Like like you just said, when you're out on the boat, you're in the middle of the water, so you're surrounded by water. You're in the art of the well habitat, and then when you're on the shore and looking at the whales, well, you're more in a contemplation place. Like you
Mhm.
stand on the rocks and you just wait for the whales to come at you in a certain way. So it's more like but there you can still feel the excitement because everyone is like silent and you're looking on like the direction you can look at and like a clock. So
Right.
and I think in the boats they do the same thing. So around you is like a clock, and the interpretive guide will show where the whales are with the clock
Mhm.
system. So people are like looking around at the landscape, and they are silent because they want to hear if you can hear a blow of a well. So it will indicate where, in which direction look to see the wells go out. Yeah,
Ah, I see. So when you say clock system, you mean like 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, right? And then
yeah,
people will look in
like
that direction.
exactly. Like in front of you, it's 12 o'clock, and then if the interpretive guide say, "Oh, I saw a well," it was like 10 o'clock. So you just look at your left, and for example, where to look at your left. So it's not just like, "Oh, there was a well on your left." It's more specific.
This is all assuming that people know how to tell time
Yeah, it is.
using the old way and not like just looking at your watch. But I
Yeah.
digress.
But we usually explain it also. So
Okay.
when you arrive to say it, the people know where to look.
Of course, I'm just playing. I when I saw people standing there, I thought I could be that one person that's just like mean and just start running towards one direction, be like, "Oh my gosh, something's there," and then I'm pretty sure everyone would just come and follow me, but they wouldn't. Probably wouldn't like that if I did something like that,
Yeah,
even if
no,
there's nothing
no,
there.
well, yeah.
Because everyone's just there waiting. So if someone says something, I notice like everyone's like, "What?"
Mhm. But
Yeah, yeah,
it's kind of a very large place also, so
that's true.
there's place for everyone to be.
Right, right, right. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so can you explain the concept? Like, why? Like, what? Why does that bring the whales so close? Like, okay, if I remember correctly, which tends to lead to me being, correcting someone correcting me because I'm usually wrong. But one thing you explained to me when we arrived was the underwater geography. We are standing on a dry land, but you mentioned that the water right in front of where we were standing drops off into a massive underwater canyon kind of thing, like it just goes down. So can you explain that concept and why does that bring the whales so close to the rocks?
Yeah, well, the whale will visit the St. Lawrence Marine Park because there is food. So they usually come there to feed. And there are like oceanographic phenomena that will bring the food in this area. So then the whale will have uh, prey to feed. And right in front of Cap de Bon Désir, it's the Laurentian Channel, if I say that correctly. And so it will, and like with the tides and all the movement underneath the water, it will brings food to the surface. So it will create like these phenomenon like all around the channel. Like say, I'm not that sure of my answer, but I can like, can I do it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was
I'm just kind of
researching and
lost in my.
I have the words Laurentian channel here. So I was just
You do?
so
Oh,
yeah, because I was researching. So I was hoping that you'd bring that up with the question. But anyway, so carry on.
awesome. Well, the reason why whales will come close to the shore is because there is food per one way. And the main reason why the whale comes to the shore is because I'm sorry, I'm lost in my answer, in my words. So I'll do it
You could
again.
do it over as much times as you want.
Okay, thank you so much. That's very generous. Well, um, the reason why the whale comes to the St. Lawrence Marine Park is to feed. So why we can see them from the shore and very close is because the food will come close to the shore. Right in front of the Cap de Bon Désir is the Laurentian Channel. So it's a very deep part of the St. Lawrence estuary, and the food will go up to the surface with the movement underneath the water. Uh, so it will create some places where there is more food for whales, and in front of Cap de Bon Désir is one of these places with. So that's why we can see whales from the shore, and also it's very deep, close to the rocks. So that's why the whale would come like closer to the rocks, so closer from where people stand on the rocks.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, because the whales are obviously big, so so they need the space.
Yeah,
So that completely makes sense. Wow. Okay. So that's the reason why everyone's gathering there. And then they're gathering there at that particular time because that's when the food is most likely going to be there. And just like, what are they eating? Like, what is the food? I know this is a side question. Just
yeah.
curious.
It's well, they usually eat like krill,
Right.
but it depends on which whales. So the
Okay.
whales with the like the blue whale, the minke whale, um, the fin whale, and the humpback whale will usually eat food like krill. But the beluga whale, for example, is a whale with um, teeth, so they will eat more like smaller fish. So it depends on the whale.
Okay, interesting. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. So when we were looking out at the water, we were actually seeing the Saguenay St. Lawrence Marine Park. So it's interesting because, and I said this to you, when I think of park, I think of a place with trees, a sandbox, some swings, maybe a killer jungle gym or something like that. But this is a park right in the water. So what exactly does the park protect? Is it just the whales or the whole ecosystem?
Well, the Saguenay St. Clements Marine Park is a marine protected area. So it protects all of the ecosystem. So from what it's above the surface and what's underneath the water also. And I would say that it protects all the ecosystems because within the Saguenay St. Lawrence Marine Park, there are different ecosystems. It protects a part of the Saguenay Fjord, but also a part of the St. Lawrence estuary. So these are different, but they are connected. So it's a very rich environment where more than 2,200 species were seen since the creation of the marine park, which was in 1998.
Wow. Okay. And what was it? Oh, I remember you said that you were also planning on expanding it further, actually. Is that still something that's in the works, right?
Yeah, there are plans to expand the marine park. There were an announcement made in last March about that. The marine park is co-managed by government of Quebec and Canada. So there are laws within two part of the government, and they have to open. They have to like. mm, the marine park is co-managed by government of Quebec and Canada, and the Minister of Environment of both government, they announced in last March that they wanted to expand the marine park. So now it protects 1,245 kilometers square of water, but it could expand up to close to 4,500 kilometers square, which would reach the side of the Bas-Saint Laurent region, so the other side of the St. Lawrence estuary.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I love that. Okay. So let's see here. All right. So a short walk from the whale watching spot are these beautiful white and red buildings and the pretty lighthouse. Which, by the way, if you're going there, you need to walk past the lighthouse. You could actually see the windows. I remember that. You told me that.
Yeah.
So, for those going to visit, in our YouTube video, we actually show both sides. So, just so you can see. But that was because of Eloise. She told us that. So, I'm giving props. Um, so, what was it like for the keepers who lived there? I imagine it was pretty rugged life keeping the light on during the winter storms.
Yeah, I'd say that it was kind of a rough job every day because they had to work 24 hours a day. So there was a lighthouse keeper and a keeper's assistant also, and they had to work like I said all day long to make sure that the to maintain the lighthouse in like it was working, so the light was working correctly, and also the foghorn when it was needed could work too. uh, so that was the job, but the, like if you imagine a lighthouse that is located in the middle of the St. Lawrence because it's on an island, this is very isolated. The
Mm,
One of the advantage I'd say to work at Cap de Bon Désir is because you were on the land, so you were kind of close to other villages to have access to services easier than when you were working at a lighthouse station located in the middle of the water.
mm. Yeah, and for perspective, I mean, it sort of blows me away because when you look at the St. Lawrence River, it quite literally looks like a lake or a sea. So it's hard to imagine it's actually just a river.
Mhm.
But so I could imagine like if you're on some island somewhere in the middle, like, and it does take like because we took a ferry across it, and it does take like 90 minutes to cross that.
Yeah.
So it's quite big. So I could imagine if you had a lighthouse that was on a lake or in the middle, then you'd have to then travel back and forth to that
Mhm.
to point, as you mentioned, services. But you said that the one that's out there now, that's big enough to actually land helicopters and things on it. I think it's that big round one that's out there. Is that still in
Uh,
use?
Au Fond Prince,
I think
the
so. Yeah, the
is
big
that
round one. That's
yes?
uh, yeah,
I think you can like land an helicopter, but this lighthouse would be a rough lighthouse to work on, I guess, because you really were on the middle of the ocean, like on the
yeah.
middle
You're
of
in
the
the
water. Yeah.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. Yeah, but I'd like to point that out because I think when we drove by on the Zodiac, you could see it in the distance. So it's
Hmm.
just kind of like mind-boggling how like how far away it looks and how secluded it looks. And so to your point, yeah, it makes sense that it's actually more convenient, for lack of better words, that the lighthouse is actually on the land. So then they could just, I guess, go wherever if they want to get groceries or something like
Hmm.
that. Okay, so this is the last question. So I imagine like you work at the park, so you get to spend lunch staring at the horizon, which is completely stunning. At least during the summer. So is there one specific memory, maybe a sunrise, a storm, or specific whale encounter that stands out as your favorite moment here at the Cap?
Well, I don't have the opportunity to work there every day, so I go there when there are visits like we did together. So with travel media, with tour operators also. And one time last summer, um, I arrived with somebody, and there was a big blow. Like it was far away from the shore, but it was certainly a blue whale. I double checked with my colleague there, and she said, like, yeah, it was a blue whale. So we were able to see a blow of a blue whale from the shore without binoculars. This was very stunning and impressive. Like, I think it was my prime memory of last summer.
That was last summer too.
Yeah, it was like,
Wow.
well, this summer, a few months ago.
Oh, like this year.
Yeah, this year. Yeah, the summer that just
Oh,
passed.
so I pretty much just came at the wrong time.
Yeah, it could have been together that we saw that, but
Oh
it
my
wasn't,
gosh.
unfortunately.
Oh wow, that's so
I think it
cool.
was in September, if I remember correctly. So,
Yeah, I was there
yeah, and
in
we were together in
September.
September. Yeah, that that doesn't help.
Oh man, wow, we just missed that. So that is cool because the blue whale obviously is the largest mammal.
Yeah,
And the fact that you can see it sort of without binoculars is quite cool. So
it's
that
very
means it was
cool.
close enough and it's big. So I mean, that would have been
Mhm.
awesome. Did you get any pictures or did you just see it
No, you can't take a picture. Like it wouldn't.
too
It wouldn't.
fast?
Yeah, it was too fast, and with a camera, it wouldn't be like as impressive as it is to see it from your own eyes
Right, right. Okay,
because it
that's
was
fair.
kind of far.
Yeah, yeah. So you need the binoculars so you could really zoom in and
Yeah,
and see it
to
properly.
see
Yeah,
the
okay,
whale
fair.
properly, I would have need binoculars, but without binoculars, I was able to like see the below, and because it was so big and far, it was like possible to identify it as a blue whale.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
amazing. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that I should add? Like, is there anything else that
Hmm.
you wanted to add, or anything else that you did I miss anything? Is there anything else that you think is important that we should add?
Mhm. But I'd say that one last thing is that there's different ways to discover the Saguenay St. Lawrence Marine Park. So you can do it on the boat like you did. So you can do it on the water. You go for a kayak excursion or your boat excursion, but you can also discover it from the shore. And we were together at Cap de Bon Désir Interpretation and Observation Center, but there are more than 20 places of discovery to discover the Saguenay St. Lawrence Marine Park within the Saguenay Lac Saint Jean region, Charlevoix, Côte Nord, but also Bas Saint Laurent. So it's possible to discover it from different places and to immerse yourself with the marine life and surprising marine mammals also. And yeah, that's what
That's
I
a
would finish with.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so good to know. So it's not just where you're at. I mean, that's a perfect spot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, it
but there,
is.
but there's
But
other spots.
yeah, well, the Discovery network of the Saguenay St. Lawrence Marine Park was created by Parks Canada, CEPAC, so the boat, so both co-managers of the marine park, but also with uh, several partners all around the marine park. So, yeah, it's
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm just going to stop this.